Hello, storytellers. It's Storytelling Ron. This video is about the Grand Ministers, or ministers. I need ministers. I need GMs. And I want to show you how to play this game. How do I do a For the Lord RPG? How do I set up my own homebrew setting, place? Because this is a new frontier in RPGs, in a Christian RPG, playing as having the characters play as missionaries, and then you as a GM. When I started sort of getting this game together, I was like, I literally, it's a whole new brain neural network thing. I do provide, where is it? I provide a map. Let's say halfway through this things because it's in the center spread of the print. So I provide this map, and this map is of a area in Italy. And I zoomed in on Google Maps and did some looked around for some old maps of the area. But you can pick up an area in Europe that is sort of part of your heritage or something you're interested in, or you've traveled to, and you can even use Google Maps if you want, and just start doodling out the different villages and areas. Because this game is really big. You go down to the village level when you start creating your homebrews. I mean, you can make up your own area too. Their own make up land, but I would hope that you would use the sort of the concept of Dark Ages history. And I know that during the 6th century, the strongest parts of missionary work began in Italy, and for some reason went up to Europe. I mean, I know Pope Gregory at the time, he saw Anglican, and there was a phrase somewhere where he thought they were angels. He thought they said angels. Anglican slaves being sold in the market, and they tried. The early Christians, they couldn't end slavery yet, but they were trying to buy up who they could, and then either turn them into monks or free them if they wanted to return to their homes. So the Christians actually were trying to buy the slaves up because remember that you all think that Christians took over the land, but they didn't. There was plenty of the land and culture of paganism all around them that we had to compromise, And so in the game, you're going to have a lot of slavery. There's a lot of slavery going on. And the Christians have to deal with it at a local level, not in the sort of big kingdom change level. So this is the area I picked. I just kind of picked an area. I would look for something that interested me, and I doodled out the little villages in the area, and then started drawing out the mountains and adding forests. And I changed some of the names. I looked at some of the old stuff, and I changed some of the names. And then, of course, Val de Lichen, I changed that too because it's like the Valley of the Wolves. So I changed the names because, in history, things change, places. And I didn't change them. I tried to do some of the major stuff, and then, for the actual names, and then looked at old maps for older names, and then just kind of did a little amalgam of history and myth and lore. So that's what I did here. And I added like a swamp. There's no swamp there now, it's a highway or whatever. But I'm assuming there was plenty of those because, in America, we drain the swamps all the time, except in DC. But we drain the swamps across the lands and make them farmlands or whatever. So I'm, feel free to add in your bogs and your swamps and your mysterious areas. And I put in a lot of sort of old Roman fort little towers, just like in a fantasy map, and so you've got places to go. And for me, old Roman tombs and crypts and fortifications are sort of left throughout this area that they tried to set up. That's in the morning now. Let me blow my nose real quick. I'm gonna let me pause this and blow my nose real quick. Okay, am I recording? Yes. Okay, so that's the map that I'm using, but you can certainly find your own place or heritage or area in Europe that you want to do. And I plan on doing, I would like to get settings of later on, like in Africa, missionary work there. I'd like to get settings in, Asia, blah, 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 in different time periods. And I'm placing, in the book here, I've placed what I would like to, some of the beasts and creatures that I'd like to have being encountered in that area and stuff like that. But let's go back to how I kind of set this up. So for a minister so you could kind of create your first mission. And so this is just for names. If you want to use this, you can roll this as a D20. There's 2 tables basically. You roll a D20, and let's just do a quick name of a witch. Okay, so there's a different. I have a list actually for witches and sorcerers as well. But this is, let's say, the mayor of the town. Okay, a 5. I'll do the second chart. Leo, 2. Nad, 14. Leonarda. Yes, you come to the village of blah, and there's Mayor Leonarda, and he welcomes you. So that kind of thing. Let's just say, basically you start off with, they're in Milan, they're in Rome, and they're at the church or cathedral. They gather there, and the pope, or not pope, but the bishop or cardinal has a mission for them. Go plant a church. Go up there to the Lacno di Lagano or whatever region, and go to this village and go plant a church there. That's the mission. Now you can, if it's just one evening, have them get there quickly. They can sort of do a prayer or breakfast or travel. Describe their, ask them to travel or describe their travels to there, or if they have any conversations, or if they have a prayer, let them kind of introduce each other. And I don't allow anymore. I'm sick and tired of it. I don't want anyone to tell me their backgrounds of the characters. And in this game, you don't. You let them tell their backgrounds of the characters as the character in the game. That is the best way. I do have a rule of where I ask them to have a brevity. Now, this is for the recordings, but it's a great rule that you guys should think about, is tell them each person should only have 3 to 5 sentences at a time. You can certainly do more as long as each of you is kind of doing it in turn. It's not a hard, fast rule, but although it is for the recordings, but around the table, let them know, just so we can move along, so everyone gets a turn. So try to be curt with your dialogues, your monologues. Anyway, I'm going. Okay, sorry, I'm just going off a little bit. So this chart here, this D12, I should probably title it or something. Do I have it? Oh yeah, aside adventure ideas. This is just like maybe on the traveling. If you feel like you're going to do like a regular campaign with them, like a few nights or a long campaign, which you can with this, even though it only takes 2 to 5 minutes to make a character. I'm going to roll a D12, a 9. A small settlement or town is asking for help against a vicious tribe of barbarians that will attack them very soon. Okay, that's a pretty big one, but you can have like along the side of the road, there's maybe a small settlement, and they're in dire straits, and then they can camp there for the night, and they say, the people there, and it could be like just like 3 or 4 farms, and then they just, and the land here in 6th century Italy is very sparse, very, very foresty, not many, there's certain pockets of civilization, and the rest is just forest. So this is just like a fantasy map. I mean, exactly like a fantasy map, as far as like the outer areas of a fantasy map where there's plenty of scary stuff going on. And you can have like a small group of barbarians that come in and attack them. And these barbarians are vicious, and they will not, probably won't surrender. They probably fight to the death kind of thing. So you can have a crazy adventure. And if it's only going to be like 3 or 4 players, I would then make the barbarians only 2 or 3, barbarians that attack, wanting to just ransack the place. And you don't necessarily have to have them kill them either. That could be that they, if you just defeat them, then they flee, and the villagers are grateful. And then you could keep that for further along, kind of build that up in the story. Let's just keep that in mind. Let's just say they defeat them, but the barbarians flee. Maybe one dies, or they can get them to surrender. If they can get them to surrender, there's a denouement chart. So as they take damage, you can roll and see if they give up, flee, or surrender. And you can, and then they can either try to convert that individual, or take them with them as a prisoner away from the settlement. I don't know, the little settlement. And that's just an aside adventure. I don't even know. And I'm going to show you. I'll show you right now. I'm going to show you right now. Right now. Where is it? It's right here. Okay, so this is the artwork that you can download for free, just as you can download this PDF. Okay, and because I want to spread this, I plan on doing a little business out of it, and I do have inherent value in what this is, but I'm new. I'm going up against. This is sort of my pitch too when I go to the conventions and stuff. Christians don't believe we should be playing RPGs, right? Christians who play RPGs don't believe we should be putting in our faith into the RPGs. Pagans agree with both of those Christians. So that's not a good sign for Christians. We should be in RPGs, and we should bring our faith into RPGs. That's my new ministry, or my revelation or realization. And I am praying every day that the Lord is telling me that this is what he wants me to do. I am not a Christian who claims, oh, God told me to do this. I'm not going to do that. I don't exactly know God's will in my life, but I've been way blessed in every aspect of my life, except making money. I tell everybody I'm very good at everything. I'm very, very blessed at everything except making money. I can't make money, although everyone around me can make money. My wife and daughters can all make money, but I can't make money. Anyway, I was a CG animator, so I did pretty good for a while. But so you get these tokens, right? And I'm going to go through these later on in the video, but I want to show you. I'm going to go through all this, but I want to show you just this real quick. These are right. Here's a church. Here's some so you can print these out, printer friendly background type things, and you can use these as like that little settlement of people struggling right along the side of the road or out, or maybe down the pasture, and then they can go visit them, and then that's their problem, that they're going to be attacked by a barbarian or group, and it doesn't have to be a combat, or it could be just the fighter fights, and then the clergy, the cleric and the nun can try to rebuke them and try to get them to feel their guilt for doing this evil deed, and that this is wrong. So that can happen in the game. Okay, so there's that. See, we already got that's already almost one evening of adventure right there. Them talking and traveling along the road, and then them coming along a small settlement along the side of the road that you can place this down on the table, and you could just do it right on the kitchen table. It's so simple. Just create, like, I don't know how you want to create like a little path, and then maybe a little forest of trees with whatever props you want. Although I have some in here, but that you could print out and use. Which is what these are for. And you just place them down and like cut out piece of paper just down on the table. Place them however you want. And there's a tomb entrance there. So that's there you go. There's your beginning sort of travel adventure. And keep it simple. The game doesn't worry about ranges. If you as a GM and the player, if it looks short, do it. If it looks medium, do that. Minus D4. If it looks long, minus D6 for range things. And if you don't remember, don't. Just roll to hit defense 12. Keep it, especially if it's kids. If it's kids, just instead, I have a defense of 12, but then you can have a shield, helm, whatever. Just do defense of 12. Or everything's a 12 as far as them trying to like roll and accomplish something. And then tell them that's what you're doing. And then as we get better in the game, we'll start, I'll start telling you more rules later on. Okay, so right here is, this one is just a bit of info on what church was like 6th century-ish. And what kind of things, terminologies and just awareness of, what you have for that period. So I kept it kind of just vague and simple, because that's how I am. Village activity, and you can see anyway. Village activity is I just list off like based on gear. Here's the gear, and then based on what people you would want to try to find to either get this gear or repair the gear in the town or village. And a small village would only have the basic type of people, and large town have more, and then a merchant trader could have some stuff. So I just keep that. This is just simple stuff for them to do in the towns if they needed. And in this game, like, treasure hunting is very vague, and coins, I want to keep it sort of simple, and because their goal is to support the church. So if they got a bunch of treasure, they would just take it to the church and finance it, and then get glory points. And then I would and then you can role play if they get anything, like a better armor or better sword or whatever. But so far in this game, I found the players and we don't fixate on magic items or bonus items. We it's just fun to plan a church, get some glory points, and then pick little things that we can upgrade. And I don't mind having like well-crafted, well-balanced weapons that give you a +1 or whatever, and well-made armor. That's kind of the magic items. There is the maybe the concept of relics, but they should be pretty low too. Like they just give you maybe an extra inspiration point, inspired die, or add a +1. But I keep it very minimal when it comes to that stuff, because they should be using the bless and the heal and their faith and their prayers. Okay, so they go to the village, whatever village you want to make up, and you can kind of decide it's probably going to be a small village, and they might have a couple of these things available: a blacksmith, a tanner, maybe a fisherman. I don't even have that. Anyway, so here is activity nearby. So let's just roll. And these are guides. These are not, you have to follow, but these are just things that you can, your brain, just to help your brain. So I rolled a D12, a 12. Court life, civil and lordly activities. Oh boy. And I'm thinking of a small village. I guess, oh, okay. Now I'm confused. I would say that a lord from a larger town comes into this village as maybe he's for hunting or luxury. Wow, that's kind of, I didn't even think I'd roll that. Okay, well, let's keep that in mind. All right, so this 2 pages is about paganism, or my view of paganism and my interpretation of what I've read and I'm reading in my history books now in the Dark Ages. This one is the 10 Commandments and how the pagans generally do the exact opposite. Anyway, that could be a point of contention, whatever. Okay, so here is local pagan activity. So let's do local pagan activity. And then I'm just giving you like little extra, fun things of how you can decide the strength and numbers of them. But you just kind of do it based on the group too. But let's start it. Well, let's just say that they're beginning player, like a family, like a whatever. So a family is playing tonight and it's their first time. That's kind of what I meant. All right. So I'm going to roll just a D4 because you could go D6, D8, D10, D12 based on how much more experienced you think they are, how much more, So I just rolled a 1. So runs and owns trinket offerings to local spirits at statues or groves. So the lordly person could be coming to this village to be putting offerings to local spirits at statues or in groves. Okay, so let's start with that. And obviously the locals do it as well. But there's always going to be a witch or sorcerer or, shaman. I pronounce shaman. That will be also probably there as well. So let's just say that whoever's I'm going to say a witch is... Or I feel like a shaman is a male witch doctor or whatever. A shaman is the one setting up this thing. Now, what's the shaman's intentions? The pagan motive here is a D8. Let me roll that. 5. Finding influence seeks power. Okay, so this shaman creates these statues around the village area that the local lord is impressed with, and so thusly goes around to do the offerings. This local shaman has gotten influenced by this lord and seeks their, patronage and all that. So there's that. Modus operandi. Okay, this one is just a little extra little MO of the style of play. I rolled a 4. Greed. Okay, so greed. Brigands and bandits stealing and taking from locals. They want riches through criminal activity. Okay, I did that, but I like just greed itself. I should probably reword this. Let me, I wonder if I can remind myself, because greed is more general than just criminal activity. It could be like what I just described there, that the person is I can't type very well. I got a pinky injury. Money or I'll let me. I really want to do, but I just don't want to do it right now. Of course, I don't know how to make a note here. Let me just make another text box. Sorry, I'm in the middle of rewrite greed above. Okay, all right. But yeah, greed. So that's perfectly sounds like works for me. what is the local disposition? This one here is for like, what about the people, the villagers? Will they be helpful to the missionaries when they come in and investigate what's going on? Will they be, or will they be against them? All right. So is it 8? 1. Oh man. Oh, okay. So, woo, this is going to be a tough. So, wow. Okay. So, that's going to be a tough one. Poor family is going to come in as missionaries and be pretty much attacked. Is basically what this is. So I would say there's a bunch of goons that run this operation with the shaman, right? They know Christians. They know who they are. So these guys are going to come in. So I'm going to have a scary group of fellers. And if we're doing first level, I might just have these type of guys who. And like a little mob of locals who know that these statues and the Lord's coming in and making offerings is making this village rich, right? Making them rich. So, and these could be, these could be this guy could be, and this advisor, this could be the shaman guy, or he could be the advisor to this guy that then comes to the village to give to them. And these people are not going to let Christians come in and ruin their grift, So see, we got it. There's your thing. Okay. This is just examples of that, but let me, location source. I mean, we already pretty much got it down, but I'm going to do this just to give it some flavor. A 1. Okay. So it's an encampment, nomadic caravan, but that's fine. I mean, I like what I've got already, so I don't need another thing here. Now, this is kind of like me doing a little bit of treasure, a little bit of artifacts and stuff so that you could read through and decide if you want to kind of add something at the end as a bonus item. But for this one, I just like what's going on here, that the village has this grift of these local statues in the groves. And so when the missionaries come into this area, they're going to probably start seeing the groves with the little statues and then maybe some offerings. And remember, the local followers are going to be guarding these groves, right, from afar or locally, and will not let anyone come in and touch, because the Lord is nearby giving, and and then the shaman will come and take all the money that is being offered. So there's your thing. Let me do another one real quick, just for the fun of it. But I'm going to show you some tokens here. You could have these bandit types being, and these are cutouts, right? And you print it out, fold it, trim it, make your little things, giant rats and hordes. But I probably wouldn't use these guys for the violent things, because they're going to, these are kind of a little tougher. I would use these are little knaves here, little bunch of thieves or knaves, locals that you can use, kind of low level. And you see, we got giants, but they're human, 10. This is a giant to me. Like in fantasy now, we're doing giants that are like 20, 30, 40 feet, and then 200 feet, titans or whatever. To me, a giant is like 10 feet, 12 feet. That's to me, that's a giant. I don't really like the, humongous Titanic sized giants. I mean, fighting an elephant. Imagine fighting an elephant with weapons. And the elephant or rhino just charge you. To me, that's a giant. You're dead. If you don't do it right. If you don't fight it from afar and flee whenever it comes near you. And a bear. To me, that's a giant. Okay. So you can use these tokens to make the let me see where. Oh, these guys. So these guys could be the the enforcers of the groves. You could start off with a small group, or maybe a lone guy for the outside grove, and it kind of gets worse as you get closer into town. And this could be the Lord right here, or did I pass them up? Where is? Oh, here. So these guys you can use as well for. Maybe he could be a constable who guards the Lord. Some guards for the Lord, maybe an advisor to the Lord. And then, obviously the local shaman would be a goofy looking dude. Like, where are they? I mean, he's a player, but you could use him, or This guy right here is one I kind of like to use for the shaman. I think I might have some more in here. These are some. So these guys right here are actually these guys. If you beat them and convert them, and they come back to normal, kind of thing. See this big dude here is this guy right here. You can see him. All right. So this is going to be sort of higher level evil dudes. So it's kind of cut off there, but these guys are evil, like higher level that I haven't done yet. Anyway, let me go back. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to start another one just to get so you can see what I'm going for here. I'm not going to do the nearby activity. I'll just go right to the mission or whatever. So yeah, every mission you're going to set up is basically starting off going somewhere and doing something. But you can do crypts and tombs if you want. You can do little side. They could find a tomb along the way and it has a beast in it. And there's something in there, treasure. And if you get treasure, you just write down just treasure or whatever, and then that can just be used for the church. Okay, so let's do another local pagan activity. Let's say they're a little more experienced, they're a little better or whatever. I'm gonna roll a D8 just to get scary here. 3. Okay. Manipulative foe acts as spiritual leader. Okay, we got that. So there's a manipulative foes act as spiritual leaders to the area. All right, that's kind of normal. I guess I should be a little more. It's fine. Let's just move on and see what he does. Okay, pagan motive. Okay, D8. 7. Finding black magic seeks demonic power. Okay, so this individual or group, maybe a coven of witches, they've got black magic. Ooh, they're close. They're close to demonic power. So that means they're hardcore. So I'm already thinking a coven of witches. They're hardcore. All right. What do they use to manipulate the locals? MO 6. Tyranny. Ooh, the desire to rule over others by force, by fear, lawful evil, and the most manipulative of all, using the other MOs to control others. So they will use anything to control everybody. So they're controlling the area, the village, whatever. Okay. Well, let's see what the local disposition of the villagers is. 8. So they're Christian. Oh, man. So we have a coven of witches suppressing some Christians local, nearby. And these are actual Christians. So the mission could be that there's a church in the area that is faltering, that we have not heard from, that we know we Christianized it, yet we have not heard from them for a while, and we don't know why. Okay. What is the power of these witches, though, that they have black magic and they're seeking demonic power over these Christians? I don't know. I'm going to have to... Did I account for that? Let me try location source. Where are these witches located? 2. An encampment, bandit, or warband. Okay. They have power over a warband or bandits or barbarians, and they are oppressing the local village of Christians, and silencing them and enslaving them. They're seeking demonic power. So that's creepy. So, man, you're gonna have to. So, grand ministers, you're gonna have to figure that one out. You're gonna have to create these witches and figure out what they're dealing with. They're in an encampment. They have conquered the village. So their encampment, to me, would be in the village, and they've conquered it. They basically conquered it. And they're enslaving them and forcing them. I don't want to, this is family friendly, so they're forcing them to do rituals? No. Finding black magic seeks demonic power. Wow. That's a high one. Oh, you know what? I have a coven of witches up here higher. So let me take that down a notch. Manipulative foes act as spiritual leaders. Finding black magic seeks demonic power. I'm going to say that they have taken over the village, and they think that the Christians have knowledge of demonic power because of their Bible. I'm going to do it that way because, yeah, down below here is a coven of witches, which should be further along. So a war band in and of itself is the manipulative foe, and they are they have some black magic. Like, what would black magic be? Because it could be anything, right? It could be they have their own. Well, zealotry is the most common, where you can get your you can get your people to become fearless, where they will fight to the death. So pagans have that, like black magic. They do a ritual, everyone gets excited, they dance around a fire, and they go fight, and that to me is black magic. So I think they think that the Christians have a black magic, and they want it. They want the power of this undead god, So there's your thing. The let me see. Oh, they're tyranny. So they're tyrants, yeah. So that's what I rolled. So we have a group of a war band or barbarians who've taken over this area. They've taken over the church, and they're holding them hostage, and they're learning about this Christian, right? But this Christ God, this undead God, risen from the dead. That's what they see. They want that power. They want that. They're trying to, and they're they've got them held there until they give it up. And of course, the Christians are like, see, so there's your adventure right there. It's a fun, it only needs to be a small group of barbarians holding them captive, like 10 or 12, and maybe separated into little guard groups. Finding black magic. So they have black. Okay, so he does a ritual. Say the leader or the bandit leader maybe does a ritual every night or whatever, and gives his warriors this warrior mentality. And until the Christians break and give us their secrets, we're not leaving, kind of thing. See? You can do this, man. You can do it. This is fun, just rolling these up and then thinking about it and trying to create your own little thing. And you can do simple things. You could do little dungeon adventures. The Romans dug some up. Maybe some of the definitely the old pagans did their own cavern tombs and crypts and places they live. So, and then beasts, find those caves. So you've got a lot to work with here. I know we feel like doing it as a Christian or historical, we feel limited, or that we don't get those fantasy tropes that we love, like dragons and stuff. But I feel like what I'm doing now is I'm not erasing that fantasy stuff, because I at some point we could do a fun fantasy one in this system easily. I've written an Alfred book series, and it's D&D basically, but with the Christian motifs, and I might do that later on. But for now, I want to do this because I think we need to learn this. I think we need to learn the missionary type thing. It's a whole new world of stuff. So anyway, so I'm not taking away the fantasy in that sense of you will still get that fantasy, but it's a little darker, a little more grim, but funny, because I want to make this funny. But it's a little more grim in the sense that it feels like a real world, like our historical world. And it really touches on all these crazy aspects of that world. Whew. So, and there is an explanation here of how the witches and sorcerers use their black magic, use their rituals to strengthen their beast or their cultist followers, or try to curse villagers into complying with their will, their power. But let me go over this. So, coffee burp. So in this, I've got you're going to start with your traditional rats. But look, it's going to go up to a rat horde. Yay! These are some basic witches on the side. Oh, let me open that up a little more. It's kind of smaller than I want. Oh, I know why. Because this thing has moved over. Let me see. View. It's right. Still okay. Sorry. I'm adjusting. Let me just open this up. Okay. I think that's enough. Okay. So, this here is some basic witches that you can use for especially low level. They're kind of, living hermetic type witches. Some bandits here. You can always have just basic bandits attacking them, or goons for the witch or the shaman or the sorcerer. Obviously some forest beasts. Now I put in some demonically possessed looking feral ones. One of the basic concepts is that the witches brew concoctions to make these creatures rabid and more bigger and feral. And then there's maybe, if you have, as you progress in the story, maybe there's some demonic influence in that, so they have a little extra oomph, so they're more monstrous. So there's that. These are some pagans. That's what they wore. They kind of wore these pagan, creepy garbs to instill fear amongst the locals. The pagans have today they have an annual garb day where they dress up like this too. So that's where I've gotten these from. But I'm sure back then, man, they used this as part of their war machine or whatever. This is just a big dude, giants back in the day. And these you can have like in the village as potential converts, but they're little thieves, little kid thieves, or they could be like muscle or goons for the witch or whatever, like a low level witch. Okay, there'll be dragons. These are dragons. Yep, Velociraptor style. Do I have? Oh, I don't have a T-Rex one. That's gonna have to be a bonus later on. But these are Velociraptor and the little guys. Yeah, dragons. This is dragons. This is really what dragons were back then. And there are accounts of dragons in the story. And I'm gonna do variations of different types of lizards, like giant sort of lumbering ones, fat ones, and I just have these ones in here for now. But I'm gonna do some other versions too, and have fun with sort of prehistoric beasts, because I'm a creation science guy, and so plenty of dragons back then and prehistoric beasts, but they didn't flourish. I don't want to go to creation science with this, but plenty of this kind of thing. Oops, I don't need to move that around. So these are some slaves. You can rescue the slaves that are stuck in the mines, type of characters. A couple of rogues here you can use, or as NPCs or as player characters. This is like the evil merchant. I just drew this guy's evil merchant. This guy could be like a guardian for the evil merchant, or he could be a player or whatever. Down here, we got a couple of like sort of Roman looking, big dude here, Roman looking maybe characters or NPCs, because there's Rome is still around. These are like holy warrior clerics, kind of like cleric warriors, or they could be regular fighters. Some patron ladies, a nun and a patron lady there. Okay, so here we've got some. This is not actually historically. This is like 13th, 14th century Gothic armor, and this is actually my suit of armor. But I just put it in there for the fun of it. These are later too, but you can still use them. I don't care. And this is sort of like a cleric warrior there. This is like this is the Roman guard guy. Is an actual player in one of my campaigns. Or this is another brigand armor, which is later medieval time. But this is a rogue, Teutonic knight looking dude. I see an angel. These will appear. One of these. This could be a lord or a merchant or a patron male, but I don't have patron male characters. I want you to be a warrior or a cleric in this game, but you certainly can be if you wanted to. There's just a goofy looking warrior dude, kind of a monkey cleric. Then this is the mob, like a vicious local farmers or town village mob. I should do like a version of these guys where they're not looking angry, so that they can you can put those there and then replace them with these ones if they do get angry. But I'm too lazy. So these are the horned ones, and this is the shaman Carl in the series. But you can use the shaman for anything, and this is a campaign that you can make where they start with the little guys, then the beast guy, then the big brute guy, ogre dude, and then the beast, and then the main sort of and obviously the concept here is that a human is encased in these demonic looking things, and with steroids, drugs, demonic influence, and they rise up when the shaman or witch tells them to, and scares everybody and gets them all to become horned ones. Fools them in the rituals. So that's black magic right there. And that's pretty much the norm for all pagan things. Is they have theatrics, they have this sort of props, and they want to do a show to get you then to follow them and don on your own cult stuff. And that's what this is. Yep. So this is a party of fun missionaries. They're going up against this. Boom. Yeah. And guess who wins? Okay. And then the patron lady has a donkey, not an ox. This is just for the game, but you can obviously use it in the game. And the players even use this to topple some of the rocks. They use the ox to, knock over whatever. I did a second one here just for the fun of it. So these, like I said, are converts of the holy horned ones. These are sheep, in case you're wondering. So this is just extra, villagers. Here's some pigs, chickens, rams, antlers, scary. They could be scary or just some encounters for hunting. This I haven't done yet. Yeah, like higher level. I do have these giant spiders in crypts and tombs, sort of just, hey, why not? Giant spiders. Back in the day, even bigger ones. And these are Roman soldiers. So evil spirits can possess, and I read this in the accounts where evil spirits, that's a thing there. And they possess things, inanimate things. So they possess homes, they possess whatever. And so why not possess? I believe this is my concept. The Romans will put down dead bodies of guards in their tombs to protect their ancestor or themselves as they get buried. And the belief and then the belief is that these will guard the tomb. So that's what I'm doing with this. And then so ergo, when missionaries come in to ransack the tomb and take the treasure to say finance the local church or send it back to Rome or whatever, these things will be in there and guarding it. And this is the mummy that's in the tomb, and this is an evil spirit unleashed or whatever. And here's some spider webs. Okay, so here's some prehistoric beasts that are in Europe. They find fossils of them. Obviously, to me, that's before the flood, but I'm certainly allowing prehistoric beasts to be in ancient Europe, although it's cold there, but whatever. So that they, these could be possible things that are encounters. And this is sort of like the unicorn, that is the one-horned beast that's denoted in the Bible. And I would say these are not flourishing in Europe. They're diminishing. Especially the ones that we kind of know are prehistoric or faded out to the more warmer regions. But they're there. And this could be like a big beast dragon. Lions, scary lions in Europe. Obviously, you can have cursed swarms and cursed serpents. Bugs, slimes. That could be very scary. And disease or whatever. So here's a type of dragon. The fat, bloated type. I made same one. Swarms. Bats. So I read about a hound in England, the black hound, I think, but they had just a wolf, and obviously wolves with a firelight their eyes can glow. So I just made this sort of version, but it could be like a demonic influenced version of a beast that you have there. They're a little tougher than normal wolves, but think about this. There's obviously was plenty of variety of wolves back then that we don't know about that. Just like dogs today, just like dogs or wolves, but there could be sort of like these different versions of wolves that existed in ancient times that were bigger, scarier, whatever. And then, eventually they got hunted out because Christian missionaries went around and did it. So, and then these are all the printable modular pieces, right? That you lay down flat on the map. I think I accidentally zoomed in here. And I provide a village, a forest, more village. Okay, this one's actually pretty cool for the little stockades. See some stones you can put up, a little watchtower for the pagans or whatever. This is if you want to do a swamp adventure. I use this. I use it for a bridge. I use it for crossing a river. It could be a guard. You cross a river, so you could have this here, or this right here next to the bridge, and you have to give to their pan like I have in one of the adventures. I don't know if I taped it. I don't know if I have it in one of them. I think it's in there. Yeah. You have to give to the pan to cross the bridge. Some ugly troll looking dude. So a troll, like a scary, think about people that are big or mongrel living hermetically as a hermit would be considered trolls. They'd be all hairy, dreads, that's a troll. And they're disease ridden, leprosy. They're a troll living there and freaking everybody out. This is sort of marsh cabin, things, farms. This is the underground tunnels. You can just place these around and print out a couple of these and make your little cave exploration. Roman kind of buildings. If you want to do a Roman villa, marshy swamp stuff, and forest. Tomb or crypt stuff. I think, is that it? Yes, that's it. Okay. So I provide you. This is like you literally have everything you need for the game except the dice. You need to get the D20 sets of dice. But this is all you need to play the game, to play with your kids, with your family, to yeah, I think I've kind of explained it all. So as far as being a minister and how it's pretty simple. I mean, and I'll do another video on creating but see, this is the basic creating of the villains, the shaman, the sorcerer, whatever. And this is just some sort of like, oh, what kind of potions or concoctions can they brew up, you know? And this is in there. You can download all this. Oh, here on my website. Here's the website. Got the Kickstarter going here in February. But you can go to, and obviously that's just for the print. But I offer the free game for now. Here, go to free, and you can download the PDF. The tokens and maps are here. This is the printable version, and this is the one all in folders you can use for Foundry or Roll20 or whatever. And the starter kit has some basic pre-made characters and that a basic adventure in there, I think. I got to make a GM screen still, but that's whatever. It's only 10 pages of rules or less, and I only use a couple for reference if I need to. I did try to make this game so you don't really need to reference a whole lot. You literally can just play and kind of guesstimate where things, what numbers are and where they go. Okay, I think I'm done for this video. For the Lord RPG, there it is. Thank you for watching, listening. Please, if you need help, also, if you want, I can do like a run through with you. I could set up a group of people who want to GM this, who want to be ministers for this, and we can kind of do a workshop type of thing. I'm going to try to do that, recruit people, you guys out there that are interested in being a minister for this or trying this out. All right. So contact me if you are interested in that. Email me and we'll figure it out. All right.